I was so disappointed by episode 5 of Agatha All Along. Why? Because I'm like, why was this the shortest episode of the season? Like, give me more. This episode could have at least been 45 minutes. How am I supposed to wait another week after that ending? That ending. And welcome to my Safe Gayven, everybody. Thank you guys so much for clicking on another video and joining me here on the Black Gay Comic Geek channel. But this is your first time checking out one of my videos. Allow me to introduce myself. Hey, how's it going? My name is Michael. I call myself the Black Gay Comic Geek, and I always say the things I love to talk about on my channel has blood, sex, gore, and magic, or any variation of the force. I like to talk superheroes, fantasy, comic books, action movies, horror movies, and of course I like to talk about black representation and queer representation. So if that is something that you are interested in, do me a favor, help me get to another milestone here on this channel by allowing me to get over 9,000 subscribers. And you could also help me by not only subscribing, but if you're already subscribed, hit the like button. I cannot emphasize enough how much it will help with the YouTube algorithm, getting this video out there, getting my channel out there. Some more eyes can watch, like, share, comment, interact for the all gay rhythm. With that said, guys, we are here to talk about episode 5 of what I said, and still to this day, is my favorite Marvel Disney Plus show. Who would have thought? Agatha All Along. This episode is episode 5, Darkest Hour, Wake Thy Power, and wake thy power indeed. This is going to be a full spoiler review, but I got my boy finally in the MCU, Billy Kaplan, Wiccan. I have been calling for this man for ages, for years. I have been calling for him. And granted, when we got to the end of the episode and we got the reveal that it was Wiccan, like I said, it's spoilers. We're jumping right into it. But when we got the reveal that it was him, like, I knew it was him. From the moment they cast him, I was like, he's probably going to be playing Wiccan. He's probably going to be playing Billy Kaplan. Like, he's an openly gay actor. They said the character that he's playing is openly gay. I'm like, who else would he be if not Billy Kaplan, the son of the Scarlet Witch? But even though I knew, the moment we got that ending moment where he had the crown and Billie Eilish playing, "You Can See Me in the Crowd," I still screamed. And I was like, that's not how this episode's gonna end. This episode can't end like that. I gotta wait another week. I can't wait another week. How am I supposed to focus on work with the ending? But yeah, that's how I felt about this episode. But yeah, getting into this episode, this review is not gonna be that long, because honestly, like I said in the beginning, in the intro, this episode wasn't that long. This was probably like the shortest episode so far this season. And I hate when these streaming services do that. They keep touting of how they're better in the sense of, like, you can get more story because you don't have to worry about, advertisements and things like that. So you can actually get a full hour-long story. But like a lot of these Disney Plus shows, they'll release an hour show, but some of these episodes be like 30 minutes, and then they give you 10 minutes of credits. That's kind of what this episode was. It was 33 minutes, but 7 minutes of credits. And granted, obviously people need to get their credit, and you need to, credit people that are working on the show, but like, come on, 7 minutes of credits? So the episode was really just 25 minutes. It was basically the runtime of Justice League, the animated series. Why? Give me a 45-minute episode, every single episode. But with that said, the episode opens of them back on the Witch's Road, and we get to see more of the Salem 7. They get on the Witch's Road, and it's very creepy in the way that they moved, like almost, animalistic way. And we learned that the Salem 7 isn't the actual coven that Agatha ended up unaliving that we saw in WandaVision. It's actually their descendants. It's their children. And it also kind of does show that Agatha's not as much of a villain as we think she is, because she spared the kids. She could have easily took out the coven and the kids, but also being that part of the coven is her family, or at least her mother. Part of me is also like, so are these kids her like kin, or are they just related by being sisterhood in the craft? But like, she didn't kill the kids, so I'm like, that's good on her. That's mercy. But she even said, like, You see what happens when you give people mercy, because now they're coming after her. Because yeah, I don't blame them. Like, witch, you killed my mother. Like, you killed my family. Of course I'm gonna come after you. Of course I'm gonna go after you in revenge. But also part of me is kind of wondering, because when you get into the end of the episode where Alice ended up dying, justice for Alice. It sucks that Alice ended up dying right after she broke the generational trauma and curse of her family. For her to pretty much die the very next episode, I'm just like, come on, Alice. Like, and you know, being that she's a person of color, there's only 2 people of color on this show. I'm just like, Alice, we want you to live, protection wish. But I'm just like, I wish she could have lived a little bit longer. But I still feel like, because a lot of people are saying like, this just proves like, oh, Agatha's a villain. Oh, I forgot Agatha was a villain. But I don't necessarily think Agatha's a full out and out villain. I don't think she meant to take Alice's power, but I just think as a consequence of her power, I think her power is more like parasitic, in the sense of the moment Alice shot Agatha with her power, I don't think Agatha could have stopped it. Or being that she feeds off of that, I think her natural, and being that she's been without power for so long, I think her natural inclination was to accept it. Kind of like if you give a drug addict, you know, alcohol, or you give a cocaine addict cocaine after being sober for years, they probably want to reject it at first, but they're like, naturally they're going to take it. Or you know, you give an alcoholic alcohol after being sober for a couple years, they're going to take it. And then maybe at first they'll be like, oh no, what am I doing? And then maybe they'll reject it. But being that it was shot at her without Agatha really having a choice, because Alice was trying to get rid of the spirit of her mother, I think Agatha kind of like lived in it for a second, until then she realized what was happening. And then also with the voice of her son, that's when she stopped and was like you kind of saw on her face, like, oh my God, like, what did I do? And then when Teen confronted her at the end, she said, I didn't mean for that to happen. I didn't do that on purpose. But I think Agatha, because we see the trailers for Wicked coming out next month, and one of the main lines in Wicked, if you've seen the musical, and this was also something that they did in the Once Upon a Time show, is a person born wicked, or is wickedness thrust upon them? And I think by the very nature of Agatha's power, I think because people fear her because of the way her powers are, and they instantly portray her or castigate her as a villain, I think she just basically just leaned it. That's not a word. What? I think she just basically leaned into it. People are like, oh, if you're going to treat me like a villain, then I might as well just be a villain, because you're not going to see me any other way. So I think that's kind of what she was doing, even at the end of this episode where Teen was just coming after her and was just like, yes, you did. You did it on purpose. I should have trusted people. And she was just like, all right, fuck it. If this is how you see me, I'm just going to lean into it. So that's kind of what I feel. And also from like a queer perspective, obviously we know that Agatha is queer in a relationship with Death. Her mother like coming at her like, I should have just killed you from birth. I should have just got rid of you the moment, you know, while I was pregnant with you. And then knowing that she's queer, everything like that, I'm just like, damn, that kind of hit me a little different. As you know, people, granted, I never experienced like my mother or my father saying something like that to me, but my brother has said something similar to that. He was like, oh, if I ever find out that you're gay, I'm gonna beat the shit out of you until I beat it out of you, basically. You know, things like that. Or my uncle was saying like, I don't mess with gay people, things like that. So I've had experiences like that. So that kind of hit me differently, of her mother saying like, I should have killed you from birth. And then Agatha saying like, I didn't mean to do that. I didn't do that on purpose. Honestly, I feel like I don't think she meant to kill Alice. But with that said, being that this was Agatha's trial, I do feel like she got off pretty easily. Like where, as opposed to Jennifer Kale, she confronted her past and she was able to, you know, create the potion to get them out of the trial. Alice was able to sing the song and confront her mother's song and her love to be able to break the generational curse. And they both learned something from it, to the point that Jennifer, well, she was able to finally create a potion to save Teen's life. She kind of got her magic back. Alice, she got her protection magic back, that she was able to save Agatha. But I feel like Agatha didn't really learn anything after this trial. And then also we didn't really learn that much about Agatha and why her mother hates her, and more about her past and everything like that. But part of me also feels like that's part of the fact that this episode was super quick. Like the trial almost felt like an afterthought. And then on top of the fact that granted, we still got 4 episodes left, but then also we still got to deal with the Salem 7. We still got to deal with Teen. We still got to deal with Lilia's trial. We still have to deal with Rio, her potentially having a trial, revealing who Rio actually is, more about her backstory. Like there is still a lot that we have to get through in only 4 episodes. And these episodes can't be as short as they are, because it's going to end up being just like with every other Marvel show where you get to the end of it, you're just like, it could have used more episodes. And even then, as much as I'm still loving this show, I still feel like we could have got 12 episodes at least, because I feel like not every episode should be a trial. Like I want to see more moments like with last week where they were sitting around the campfire just talking and connecting as witches and learning more about their backstory. I want to see more of that. Because even in this episode, Lilia kind of took a backseat. We didn't really get much from her in this episode. As opposed to all the other episodes, we still got a little bit of each witch with regards to each trial. Like even in last week's episode where Lilia was seeing like the paintings, or Jennifer Kale was seeing the mask and things like that. We still got something from each witch, as opposed to this episode, we really didn't get anything. But something that we did get something from, like Rio, Aubrey Plaza was having a ball in this episode. Like just her when she was flying on the broom and she was cackling while everybody else was afraid. And then just her reaction to the Ouija board saying that it's death, and her like laughing because, spoiler alert, and I mentioned this before, but I think Aubrey Plaza is the manifestation of death. So it's saying that she's like laughing like, yeah, right, like I'm right here. And just her reaction, and like, or how she wanted to kill Agatha at a certain point, but then she's like, I'm defending my girlfriend. Like I know the story of what happened with her mother, and no, like I'm not giving her to her mother. Like I know what she did. Like I love that. And I want to see more of these two, these sapphic, queer, loving witches. But yeah, the reveal that Teen is Billy Kaplan, the son of the Scarlet Witch. I kind of wonder what was it specifically that tipped Agatha off, because at first she did kind of think that that was her son, but like obviously Rio told her that wasn't her son. But what specifically tipped her off that that was Wanda's son? Because he could have just been anybody. What tipped her off? That's what I'm wondering. And then also with the way this episode ended and the fact that he has so much power, it kind of makes me think he put the sigil on himself to maybe keep himself hidden from Agatha, because he didn't want her to know who he truly was, because we learned that the sigil affects the witch that cast it too. So I think he put the sigil on himself. Like consider how powerful he was. The fact that he put the spell on to mind control Lilia and Jennifer Kale. Like he was able to take Agatha out despite Agatha now having powers of the protection witch. Agatha wasn't even able to protect herself. I was just like, because Wiccan is powerful. Wiccan is dumb power. Like I just posted a video here on my YouTube channel explaining just how powerful Wiccan is. So if you haven't seen that, definitely take a look at that, and like, share, comment, interact for the All Gay Rhythm on that video. But yeah, Wiccan is dumb powerful. He's destined to be even more powerful than the Scarlet Witch. I'm not going to say anything more than that, because like I said, if you want to know more, check out that video. But yeah, we obviously know the other witches aren't dead. We know from the trailers and the previews, I believe next week's episode is going to be Lilia's trial. And then like I said, we got to eventually, maybe, I think Rio might get a trial or maybe not, but she is technically a green witch, so she might get a trial. Also, will Teen himself get a trial? But now that we have the official reveal that he is Teen, I do wonder, where is his brother? We know he has a twin brother, Speed. Where is Speed? And like, is maybe that why he's on the witch's road? Is he going to try to bring his brother back? Or he doesn't know where his brother is? And I don't know. But this is definitely showing that Wanda's definitely coming back. We're definitely getting the Scarlet Witch back, and we're going to see Teen and Wanda reunite. Now, I don't even have to call him Teen anymore. We're going to see Billy and Wanda reunite, and hopefully with Speed. So yeah, I'm definitely excited and can't wait to get episode 6. Like, Wednesday can't get here quick enough. But with that said, what did you guys think about this episode of Agatha All Along? It was definitely too short for me. That's really my only criticism. I wish this episode was longer, but I absolutely love this show so far. But like I said, let me know all of your thoughts in the comment section below. Be sure to like, share, comment, interact on this video for the All Gay Rhythm. If this is one of your first time checking out one of my videos, check out the other videos on my channel. If you like what you see, hopefully you hit that follow button or subscribe button, and follow me on my other social media platforms. Hit that bell notification button so you're alerted every single time I post a new video, and tell your friends, families, and neighbors about my channel to help me continue to grow. And as always, I will catch you guys next time.